All right, on this episode, we talk all about the flu shot. It is flu season again, and get your flu shot. Alice All Access starts now.
From Kirkham at 0450.
All right, it is flu season, so I think it's important for us to spend a good 5 to 7 minutes talking about the importance of, especially with our nurses, why you get the flu shot, how you get the flu shot, and then how that all flows on our side. So with me today is Client Manager Mike Spees.
Hello.
And Compliance Cassie Wolford.
Hello.
So Cassie, you want to start? Let's talk about this awesome time of year and how the flu shot affects what you guys are doing in compliance.
Yes, so flu shot is a big deal. Obviously for nurses, it's keeping everybody safe, your patients, of course yourself. And on the compliance side of things, facilities are asking for your flu shot as of 10/1, so that was a couple of days ago. And it's really important that you get all the required information for your flu. We don't need just a receipt saying you got it done. We need lot numbers, where it was administered, who administered it, things like that, because the facilities are asking for that. So it's important that you reach out to us if you don't have the required forms, so we can get them to you.
So that's a form that you can send to them, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and they just take it and then boink, and then they fill it out, and there you go.
Yep, the clinic fills it out, and it's been such a pain for us this year because everyone's just sending in receipts. So we have to then go and get the fax number for the clinic, hope they'll send us the information back, and 9 times out of 10 they don't.
So I guess the next question then is how? How is it, you have to schedule something? Can you just go to a Walgreens or Walmart or CVS or Osco? Like, are those acceptable?
Yep, absolutely. Any pharmacy that carries the flu shot, you can go into.
Okay.
Most of those clinics are walk-in. Atlas's insurance does cover the flu shot for most clinics. So if you do have our insurance, it should be of no charge to them.
Awesome. So then Mike, I'm sorry, I'm calling Spees all the time. So Spees, tell me from a hospital standpoint, from a compliance standpoint at the hospital, like how important is that when you're talking to a hospital right now in total with all of compliance?
Oh, it's huge. Major component. And here's the thing where the facilities are at now. More and more facilities are not taking the declination. You could get a declination for medical or for religious reasons, which a doctor had to sign off, or a clergy. Problem that arose is, of course, the nurse has to wear a mask,
right?
To protect the patients and protect themselves. Well, that goes on for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and pretty soon, the mask isn't, the mask is chucked. So you're seeing more and more facilities that are not taking a declination. Flu shot is mandatory, and they are very strict about it. They will pull from the floor if not done.
So there are, along with religious, obviously, I understand that, but there is, people have a legitimate allergy to the flu shot, right? Because there's eggshells. There's something about if you have an egg allergy.
You have an egg allergy,
right? So there's eggshell in the shots.
In the shot, and they do now make flu shots without the egg, so that's no longer able to be used as a medical reason not to get it.
A gluten-free flu shot? Is that?
I don't know.
I didn't know that.
But
so
yes,
that's awesome.
they can get one without the egg.
So tell me, what percentage now have either signed a declination, wear the mask all the time? Like, are we like 98%? Like, are compliant with the shot?
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
I would say maybe 75% of nurses have gotten their flu shot into us.
Okay.
Out of the 110 nurses I have on my desk, I've only had one sign a declination.
Wow.
And I'm only missing about 20 shots.
So that's good. I mean,
yeah.
we're just a couple days in, and we're still, and we've got that many. So,
Yep.
So props to you guys for getting those in onto us on time. That's, I know that
It's
not
huge.
easy. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's not easy to schedule
Yes.
that time and stuff, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, no kidding. So then the other piece of this too that I wanted to talk about today, now that I have both of you here, in addition to the flu shot, one of the things that we chase all the time that I know is very difficult from a client management standpoint, but then from a compliance standpoint too, is references.
Sure.
So let's talk about that really quick then. Like, what's a good way, once you get to a contract, you've been there for a couple of weeks, what's a good way to get those references done?
Well, if it's a reference, so like from a client manager point of view, I actually have to reach out to the facility and do an evaluation on the traveler about every 6 weeks, just to see how things are going, so that I can monitor for the facility. Then there's also the references that the recruiters will do on the traveler to find out, from the supervisor, how do you see how this job worked out? And those are huge, very important. I think that's probably, when I submit a nurse to a facility, the very first thing that my person on the other side is going to look at is this nurse qualified?
Sure.
And I'm submitting a qualified nurse. The second thing they're going to look at is the references. They want to know what other supervisors, what other people with the same clinical skills, how they evaluated and what they thought of this nurse, because that's huge. The last thing that a director wants to do is put somebody in a position that is just not going to be the right fit for. They know their staff, they know their hospital. They want somebody who not only has the skills, but is going to be a great fit to complement, and is going to be a team player. And
so from then a compliance standpoint too, how difficult is it to chase those references down? I mean, is that if it's anything like it was in the past, that those are always outstanding, right? Those are
Always.
You're always chasing after those.
Yes, absolutely. And on a compliance standpoint, if the nurses just would take our reference form in to their supervisors after, let's say 5-6 weeks of being on assignment, and just had them fill it out, it would be so much easier than us trying to chase that down.
Absolutely. And quite honestly, most would do that. Most of those supervisors would do that.
Absolutely. But
Right.
when you've got someone calling in, they don't have time, they're not thinking about it,
Right.
but your employee hands you a piece of paper and it's going to take you 2 minutes to fill it out.
Because in the end, they understand that you're moving on to another contract here in however many weeks, if you don't extend, right? And
Right.
this is integral to you moving on to that next contract. So yeah, I think most of them would, at least from a client manager standpoint too, if you prep them for it, look, this is coming. Let the supervisor know this is coming in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Just have them fill it. Please have them fill it out for us. So, and our protocol is, our Joint Commission approved protocol is one a year, one of them, is that?
One within a year and then one within 3 years.
Okay. And from a hospital standpoint, that is generally okay? Is that, or?
yeah, each facility is different, but the majority of them, yes, it's what she just said, and they have to be from a supervisor, not a doctor, not a peer. Very few will accept a peer. It has to be from a supervisor who is competent to evaluate your clinical skills and how you are behaving and acting with the staff.
Perfect. Excellent. So, all right. I think those two pieces, I know that just in talking to Kiana, that this is Kiana, our director of compliance, are very difficult to track down. So I thought it was important for us to at least talk about it for a few minutes. So if you haven't gotten your flu shot,
For that?
Ooh.
Ooh, wow.
save that one. If you haven't gotten your flu shot yet, please do so. If you have any questions whatsoever, your compliance person has those answers. If you don't know who your compliance person is, ask your recruiter, because there's a relationship that our nurses have, most of our nurses have, with our compliance that I haven't seen in the industry anyplace else. So they are very ready and willing to help you there. So Speedies, thanks for coming. I appreciate your input today.
Thank you for having
Cassie,
me.
thank you again.
Thank you.
So we'll see you next week.